Hi everyone, my name is Wizard Journey, and today I'm going to show you around ALA what it's like as an artist. So I got there day 0 to set up. Day 0 is on their Wednesday, set up at 12. Before that, I had to pack up my car, pick up my friend, pack her stuff in my car, and then drive all the way to the Long Beach Convention Center and unpack. I didn't do the loading dock just because previous years friends have told me how really bad it was. I did it in 2022, I believe, and back then it was bad as well. And so I decided to not do the loading dock and do the parking structure right across. There's like a bridge connecting the garage to the loading dock, so that was perfect. On day 0 we got there at 12. I only had 3 hours of sleep just because I was doing last minute prep, and yeah, I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I should really plan ahead and not put as much on my plate as I am doing. I managed to survive. So at this time I was kind of worried about turnout for ALA just because the Palisades fire and the Eaton fire started a couple days prior. Things were looking really bad. It was really smoky in Long Beach, and I can't imagine how it would be living really close up to the fires, and I can't imagine losing everything. So my heart goes out to everyone that was affected by the Eaton and Palisades fire and any of the other smaller fires that happened as well. It took me roughly 2 to 3 hours to set up, mostly because the air was dry. I didn't bring a mask and it was really smoky in Long Beach, so I was trying to take lots of breaks. But after that, I went home. I had to buy some last minute things because I was still working on some ribbons for my brother's stamp rallies, and so that's what I did for the rest of the evening. Day 1. So my friend and I were in Artist Alley, H12. It seemed like the flow of traffic, at least in Artist Alley, was way better than in Vendors Hall. This con is mostly known for its Artist Alley, so it kind of makes sense that there are more people going into Artist Alley kind of wanting to shop there rather than in Vendors Hall, which also had a lot of artists that couldn't get a table. Also, the way the rows for vendors were set up were kind of weird. I don't know. I think it might have been that they didn't really align up with Artist Alley, and the numbering system was really weird because I was trying to find some of my friends, and trying to find them was really hard, and I only was able to find them because I knew how their booth set up looked like. And then other people that I knew were gonna be at the con, I didn't even see at all their booth, and I walked around the con unless I'm really blind. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's harder to be in the vendor section at ALA than in the artist section, which is easier to navigate. Although I didn't like that one row was ascending, the other was descending. So that was kind of weird, but that is something entirely different. The con opened at 10 on the first day and went all the way to 7 p.m. People slowly trickled in the morning, but sales were really good for Thursday. I did this con in 2022, and mind you, I had less than half of what I have now in merchandise, and I didn't make a lot of sales. I maybe maxed out at 10 sales that day on Thursday, so Thursday was definitely my slowest day in 2022, but this year I did the numbers and it was my 3rd busiest day, Sunday being the least amount of sales that I did. I did stay most of the time at my booth on Thursday. I usually micromanaging my booth. I feel like it's not a good thing, but I don't know. I feel anxious and bad for whoever takes over my booth if I leave it, so if you feel this way too, please let me know. But yeah, even though my brother does sell with me, I feel bad for leaving him at my table alone, or at my table in general, trying to figure out stuff. So yeah. So this con, if you didn't know, was really ribbon heavy. So this is known as a ribbon con. If you don't know what ribbons are, this is it. So you get these little ribbons, you can trade them, people sell them at their booth, so they have like an incentive of, oh, make a purchase and you get a ribbon. There are trivia, ribbon games, you can do like fun activities sometimes to get some. So yeah, this con is really ribbon focused. People make a huge game out of it and wants to see like who has the longest ribbon train in the end. So as an artist, I would definitely recommend having lots of ribbons so that you can incentivize people to buy from you. My condition to get my ribbons was with any purchase, they would get my brand ribbon. But then if they wanted one of the themed ribbons or like the fandom ribbons that I had it at a $15 purchase, or if you wanted two, a 30, 30, a 45, and so on and so on. So I feel like that helped a lot with sales. On top of that, I was also in 2 stamp rallies and 2 ribbon rallies. And then my brother was in 2 stamp rallies as well. For the 2 stamp rallies that I was in, one was a Bungo Stray Dogs one, which is more of a niche fandom, so it kind of went better. And then the other one was a One Piece stamp rally, like a winter themed one, which didn't go really well. There were a couple other One Piece rallies going on, and I think us not being a dedicated ribbon rally might have affected how that rally did. The 2 ribbon rallies that I was in, one was a Dandadan ribbon rally, and the other one was a Love and Deepspace one. The Love and Deepspace one really did good. Like, we gave out more than 75 prizes, which was 75 ribbons, like ribbon packs, plus like a little surprise at the end. So yeah, that one did really, really well. So around noon or a little bit later, we got an emergency alert on our phones saying to evacuate. So the fires are roughly like 1.5 to 2 hours away from Long Beach. We were all confused why we would have to evacuate, and I looked at the like fire map. There was nothing there other than a fire that happened in Rolling Hills like the day prior in the evening. That was already put out. So we were all really confused. And then I think 5 to 10 minutes later, we got an alert again saying that it was a false alarm. Everyone was cheering and clapping, but that just gets me wondering, how do you create a false alert for the entire city of LA and surrounding areas? So yeah. Overall, I would say day 1 was really good. I definitely made more on Thursday, day 1, than the entirety of my ALA in 2022. Mind you, I didn't have as much merch, and I only had like 2 ribbon designs back then, and they were like handmade. So now on to day 2. So we got there early, like an hour and a half too early on Friday. Hours again were from 10 to 7. It was basically about the same as Thursday compared to the others. I did make a lot more sales this day than on Thursday, which was expected because Thursday I thought was going to be the slowest day with Sunday, which was the case. My brother went to a Sonic gathering, so ALA has lots of gatherings like any other con. My brother went to a Minecraft one, a Sonic gathering, I think a couple of others. I don't really remember. He was off with his friends. Got more ribbons. I traded my ribbons as well. If I liked the design of the ribbon. There were a lot of Love and Deepspace like cosplayers. I was surprised. I would say half of my sales were Love and Deepspace related, which is probably why I did so well at this convention. I, to be honest, really underestimated the fandom. I sold out almost of 2 phone charms. I only had 1 left at the end, and I sold out of photo cards for one of the characters. So yeah, I was quite surprised. I was low on a lot of other stuff, so yeah. And yeah, Friday was a bit more busier. than day one, but again, as expected. Other than that, nothing out of the ordinary on Friday. So let's get on to day 3. This was actually the first time I actually went around the con. So I walked around the con a bit when the halls were closed and everything, but most artists aren't there yet. So I wanted to walk around, see what other artists have and stuff like that. So this was the actual like first day I walked around. I only was gone through from like I think 12 to 2. One of my friends was there, and so we walked around. My friend was gathering as many as possible Love and Deepspace ribbons, so I was walking around with her trying to get them. Apparently while I was gone, my brother was swarmed with transactions and stuff like that, and I feel really bad. I did go to the Love and Deepspace gathering. That was a lot of fun. A lot of those people were people that stopped by my booth or came to my booth afterwards, which was really nice, and we all had like really fun conversations. The rest of the day I spent at my artist alley table. Really do much. I met a lot of cosplayers. A lot of other artists stopped by and also wanted to trade ribbons. And then a lot of you attendees also like talked to me, which was nice. We fangirled a little bit too much over our fictional men, but that's okay. And yeah, the con ended this day at 7 as well. So it was again 10 to 7. Now for the last day, day 4, I was so tired. At this point, day 4 was definitely the slowest out of all 4 days. I did kind of decide to leave my booth closer to the end, so yeah. I went around, shopped some other artists' booths, mainly an artist alley, but that was early in the morning when there wasn't like too much traffic. We found out that there was a giraffe next to the ribbon station called Vladimir the Giraffe, and he was building his own ribbon train. So we added our ribbons to his ribbon train. It was easy to find the ribbon station, and there were like multiple little sections of it. There was like even a section where you could like put your trash in from the ribbons, so it was fun. But as soon as you left that area, navigating Vendors Hall, as I said earlier, was kind of hard to do. So I really hope that maybe in the future they can plan a better layout. Yeah, this day the con was from 10 to 5, so 2 hours shorter than all the rest of the days, which, to be honest, I feel like could have ended earlier, but there were people walking around still. It just seemed like they were kind of hesitant on making purchases, which is totally understandable. I was kind of also worried based on economic situation that people wouldn't want to spend, but I was very, very wrong. At 5, when the con ended, I grabbed my suitcases and then started taking down my booth. So that took a while, I think like an hour-ish or something like that. Usually it doesn't take me that long to take stuff down, but I was just dead. I was just dead. 4-day cons, I don't know. It's like, I understand for some cons to be 4 days long, but like some of them shouldn't really be 4 days long, and it just drags on. I feel like ALA could just still stay a 3-day convention rather than a 4-day. Yeah, after we were done packing up, my friends and I decided to do a ribbon drop from the balcony. Mine was not as long as I hoped, but it's fine. Next year, if I get in and I'm lucky enough, I hope to have a bigger ribbon train that will go all the way to the floor. So hopefully that will happen. I'll probably have like a sign that says I'm open for trades, because on day 4 I did have a sign that says open for trades, and then a lot more people stopped by to trade with me, so I might just do that, but we shall see. We'll also see what kind of ribbons I come up with for next year. Now, how do you get into ALA? Sometime around September, I believe. Like early to mid-September, I think it was. Applications dropped at 10 a.m. Well, at least they were supposed to drop at 10 a.m. I was out and about looking at houses at the time, and so I was like trying to be on my phone, trying to get the app to work, and I went through Twitter because I was like, oh, okay, Twitter, I feel like they would post it there like somewhat early or on time, or like the scheduled post would be on time. Nope, I was wrong. Apparently the Discord had it like way early, which I was part of, but I thought that was like an extra step for me to do. And I guess on their Facebook, they were really quick too, because my friend managed to get a table through their Facebook. I sadly didn't. By the time the link showed up on Twitter, it was not there. There were no tables anymore. So yeah, my friend kindly allowed me to share the table with them, even though like the space is really small. So both of us can fit easily a 6-foot, if not 8-foot table. And so we weren't sure if we were gonna have a corner or inline booth. Yeah, so we just went with the worst with having an inline, which we did end up getting. We got like a extra cube that we used to make our display. We added an extra cube in front. It meant we had less space in the back, but we did have 5 feet at least of displayed merch available, which wasn't bad at all in my opinion. It was really cramped. Looking back, I kind of wish we had more space, but we both got enough space to cover it. I wouldn't have known what to do if I had one less panel. But yeah, let's talk about cost breakdown for ALA. So the table for ALA is $550. That is quite a lot. That is like almost AX prices, mind you. It comes with 2 badges. Since I split with my friend, it was $225 per person. So like $225 for a 4-day con, I guess is fine, but like technically you're not supposed to split a table from what the conditions read. Although in previous years they have not had an issue with splitting an Artist Alley table, it seems like they added that rule this year. But most people in Artist Alley did split the table, so they couldn't really enforce it. I don't know if they're blacklisting people or not. We'll see. But since my brother was there helping us, that was another, well, it would have been $130 for the extra badge. But one of my friends had a badge that they were willing to sell for $100, so we saved $30. Parking was $75 for the entire weekend, so that includes setup day till last day of the con. It was $15 per day. It was a parking structure right across from the convention center, so yeah, it was not far of a walk at all. For most days, I brought drinks and snacks from my parents' place, so I didn't really have to worry about food. But on the second, I did get really hungry, so I bought con food. It was around $20, but that like fried chicken, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. Gas, I have not really counted yet, but I think that was around like $40 to $50 for gas alone, from driving from where I live to my parents, and then from my parents to the con and back and forth, and then back home. So yeah, would I do ALA again? After this year's experience, I would definitely do ALA again. Would I recommend people flying out? No. I would definitely keep this to locals only, or if you're just a couple of hours away. Even if you're from NorCal, maybe, but you would also have to consider getting a hotel and stuff like that. So unless you have someone you can stay with, maybe, to keep costs low, I would not recommend coming out from like very, very far away, like where you would have to fly. I know that the initial cost of the basically $680 if you're having an extra helper with you is very scary, especially with this con, with the reputation that I have had of it in my mind for the last few years was really scary. In 2022, I barely broke even, if like maybe I made like $100 or $200 profit. I did have a lot less products. I only filled up half of a table, if not even that. My art has improved so much, and I've built a much bigger following now that it is understandable that I do have a more consistent income now than before with conventions. I think it helped me most having Love and Deepspace stuff as well as Bungo Stray Dogs stuff. Bungo Stray Dogs is still like kind of niche. I know it's become more and more popular, but a lot of people that know that I have Bungo Stray Dogs stuff stop by my table consistently because they know I will try and get something new every other con, if not every con. And then all my Love and Deepspace stuff, except for the photo cards, were all new merchandise, so we shall see if that consistently keeps up with my sales. Yeah, overall, would definitely recommend ALA if you are local or just a few hours away. My next convention, well, my next event was a Love and Deepspace cup sleeve event that my friend and I were hosting. I'm filming this a day after that event, but yeah. It went really well. I might do a separate video on that. After that, my next event is Any Marketplace in Little Tokyo, and then I won't have an event until K-Play/Anime Impulse LA in February. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was kind of insightful for someone. But yeah, I hope to see you all soon, and I hope to see some of you maybe at a convention someday. And yeah, if you stop by, just come by and say hi. Don't be shy like me or awkward. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.